Hi everyone, this is Caitlin Humphrey, and this is my main just class website. So I just named it Humphrey History because I want to teach social studies, and just all of the basic information that we added at the beginning of the class. Class rules, everything else. And let's go to the actual unit, which is titled Running a Country. So I called it Running a Country because the big ideas that I wanted students to be thinking about during the entire lesson, or the whole unit, is how should a country be run? Should everyone in a country have a voice, power, a vote? Is freedom or safety more important for individuals to have? And then I wanted them to be thinking about law, reason, faith, individuals, and rights. Just those to be like trigger words that should make them think and relate to the content that they're thinking of as we're going through everything. So let's see here. I chose these big ideas because I felt like students, no matter what their background is, has some idea of what a country is and certain forms of government and how they interact with it daily and what they like and don't like. So I felt like these would be big ideas that they can relate to and already have an opinion on, and that they can change or build off of their opinion throughout the lesson. So up here I have first the assessments. And I made an assessment map on Poplet. I really like this website. It's pretty easy to use. Okay, there it goes. This is my assessment map. So we can go in. This is going to be the first lesson, is about Judeo-Christian and Greco-Roman beliefs. And so I have a pre-assessment, during assessment, and afterwards, and everything is just supposed to lead into the next lesson. So we're going through ancient philosophy first, we're going through Plato and Aristotle, and then that'll bridge into philosophers. So they already have an idea of what a philosopher is, so I'd have a journal write as the assessment. Then during, have some games that they can do with discussions around it. And then that is going to build into, after we clearly define what a philosopher is and have some key philosophers down, that would build off into the U.S. philosophy and constitution and government. And that is the assessment map. So let's go back. So one of the assessments that I have is a Who Said It philosopher mix and match game. I wanted them to do it in class with note cards so they can physically touch them and move through the game and everything. And I wanted them to work on it with a partner and write down why they thought, or you'd match up the philosopher with a quote. And so they might have seen the quote before, they might not have, but their knowledge on the philosopher should lead them to be able to figure out who said what. And so I made an online version of this game here on Quizlet. Let's see here. And so all that you do is go to Games and Scatter. And it is the exact same game. It times you when it opens, and yep, you just make everything disappear by dragging the name over the quote. So students can use this at home to practice, to get extra help, and just after they've already been assessed in class, to keep doing it and see how they do, so that they can kind of assess themselves. So let's go back. Okay. And then I have my resources. So I put this QR code there. I've been using them in the classroom I'm working at now, and I absolutely think that they're brilliant, and I'm having so much fun with them. You can put them on handouts, you can put them on websites. Basically, if you have a smartphone, you download the app to read it, and it'll take you to a website, or it can play off an audio, stuff like that. Really fun and easy to use. So I put them on each page for each lesson, and what this QR code will do is take the students to my Live Binders website that has all of the different websites to use so they can easily access it if from their smartphone and look through it, I don't know, while they're driving somewhere in the car, on the bus, waiting around, instead of, just having to wait till you get home or till you're at a computer. Obviously, I know a lot of students won't have smartphones, so I also put the Live Binder link on the resources page, but this QR code is on every single lesson plan, or lesson page. And then I have my template, or my unit plan template is here if you guys want to look through it. Pretty easy. Okay, then this is my first lesson is on ancient philosophy, and this one I made a Prezi presentation. So basically I brought up the big ideas again that I wanted them to be thinking of while they're doing this, and then this, I'll just switch over really quick. They're going to be using the lesson guide notes on ancient philosophy. So I made this little note-taking graphic organizer, let's see if it loads, for them to use as they're clicking through this presentation. And I put in videos before they do the reading on Plato and Aristotle, and then they would read Plato's Republic, and I want them to be discussing questions before they start with their reading partner, during, and after. So that's what these questions are. That's just to help them start thinking about the text, afterwards comparing and contrasting, and then applying that to the next lesson that we're going to do. And then I put in videos on Judeo-Christian beliefs, and this would go along with the text, or multiple texts on the subject. Then I'd want them to make a comic of Judeo-Christians and Greco-Romans basically having a debate and arguing both sides. And then as a group activity, they would reenact some of the comics and present them to the class. Okay. The second lesson would be on the philosophers, and the student learning objective is students will understand the basic arguments of major philosophers and what influenced each philosopher. Students will be able to point out similarities and differences between these great thinkers, including their philosophies and their backgrounds. Okay, so I have the a video right here. If you click on that link, we'll go to this video on Thomas Hobbes. You don't need to watch that though. And as they're watching that video, I have this worksheet that I want them to fill out as they're watching it, answer the questions. It's just a graphic organizer to help them, and it's bridging off ideas to the next one. So let's go down. This is a sample where I filled it out and how I want it to be done. And then students can use this check-off rubric to make sure that they've done everything on the graphic organizer. It's in this lesson that I also have the web activity that I made. I think the philosophers are a lot of fun, so I just kept making my activities for this lesson. But so I have the 3 different philosophers that I want them to be focusing on during this activity, and I have different websites for them to go through. Some of the questions are fairly easy to find, just to, help them kind of accommodate, or help them figure out the websites that they're on and just the materials that they're given to go through that resource. But then a lot of them are open-ended or more abstract, so that they can bring in their prior knowledge, they can bring in their opinion, they can argue against the philosopher. So that is that chart and that web activity. Again, you can see the QR code at the bottom just to make it easy, especially with the web activity. There's a link on the Live Binders page that has all the websites that they need for that. So let's go to Lesson 3. Lesson 3, students will gain an understanding of the U.S. Constitution and what it was influenced by and how it has influenced other countries. Different lesson activities. This one is basically just building off of the other two and getting to that final just thought of how a country should be run, bringing it back home to their own country. And let's see, so I just wanted to show you guys, realized I didn't bring this up before, but the live binder that I made, I have different, well, it's not loading right. I have Greco-Roman, so I have the first lesson, then I have the different readings. There you go. Sorry, my computer's very slow, so it's not downloading properly. And you just click through. So they can read on computers in the classroom if they have it. They can do these readings at home. Everything is totally versatile. Let's see, we can go through there. And then I also so this would be for the web activity and the philosopher chart and who said it. Clicking through. I have a lot on the philosophers just because I had a lot of activities for them. And then I just put the Common Core in there if students or parents are interested. And that was my website. You guys can, of course, go on and click around, and all the Google Docs should be working. They should have access to the public. That was not as easy as I thought it would be, but I had fun making it. Thank you.